On a cold June afternoon in 1986, a young woman named Susan Snow lay dead on an autopsy table. She had always been a woman in excellent health, but one morning, while in her bathroom, she suddenly collapsed.
While I was in the shower, I heard a thud. So I went into her bathroom, and she was laying on the floor, and she looked frightened. Her eyes were wide open, and her eyes were kind of rolled back. Her fingers were very stiff, and she didn't seem to be breathing.
An ambulance from the Harbor View Medical Center quickly responded to Haley's call.
They came very quickly and started asking me if she had taken drugs. I had the impression they thought she was overdosing on something.
Sue Snow never regained consciousness, and doctors were unable to determine what had happened to her.
They came back and told us that she was brain dead. I had no earthly idea what could have happened. I mean, I think I just kind of shut down.
Because Sue Snow's death had remained a mystery, she was taken down to the morgue to be autopsied.
We were all very puzzled about her cause of death. I remember being especially concerned about her case because she was very close to my own age. I was in good health and didn't think I should be dead, and I didn't think she should be dead either. As I opened her body, I smelled a really very distinctive odor. It was faint, but nevertheless distinctive and unique. And I thought to myself, geez, that smells like cyanide. I just thought, my God, how would a 36-year-old woman get cyanide in her system?
Early the next morning at Sue Snow's house, the FDA found out. Contained in a bottle of extra-strength Excedrin that was found in her medicine cabinet, there were several capsules that were filled with deadly doses of the poison.
Officials in Auburn, Washington this morning are examining hundreds of bottles of extra-strength Excedrin capsules. The capsules were removed from store shelves.
As news of the contaminated capsules spread across the country, the then 15-year-old Haley Snow was burying her mother.
That burial was just horrible because it was at that moment that we knew, obviously, she'd been murdered. That day, I was very, very, very angry because I was looking down at this casket and all I could think of was this horrible murderer, and I, of course, conjured up all sorts of images in my head about who this person is or what he might look like.
But the police already had an idea of what that person looked like. It was Sue Snow's husband and Haley's stepfather, Paul Webking.
She had wrote this just a real basic will that left everything to him, assuming that he would take care of it all. And suddenly he had new things, new car, new clothes, and we never saw a dime of that money. That was suspicious. And then 2 months later, he got a girlfriend. Just as we were leaving for the burial, my stepfather said, "You're going to be a suspect because you were the only one here, and I'll probably be a suspect too."
2 weeks later, a late-breaking news story turned the focus of the investigation away from Paul Webking.
Reinforced this morning, following the discovery by authorities in the Seattle area of more poison capsules.
There had been another victim of cyanide poisoning. He was a 52-year-old man named Bruce Nickel. Agents from the FDA and FBI went to the Nichols' home to interview Bruce's widow, Stella Nickel.
The very first thing that we wanted to concentrate on was where she bought the bottles from. And so I concentrated on that to begin with. And she gave us the names of 3 stores that she likely bought the 2 bottles at.
The FDA confiscated all the Excedrin bottles in the Seattle area and found 2 more bottles in different stores that contained poisoned capsules. Fear now